Hey guys, how are you? It's Break Nostalgia here. Today I'd like to review this humongous, very iconic vintage set, Lego Nautica set from 1991. The set number is 6542 and the name of the set is Launch and Load Seaport. This set is epic. The level of playability, the presentation and the volume and the amount of accessories and features that come with it is very difficult to top. So I'm very excited about this review, so let's get into it. And being the set so huge, we're gonna have to break down this video in a few different parts. Okay guys, so we're gonna break down this video in three main parts. In the very first one here we're gonna have a look at minifigs and accessories. The second one we're gonna have a look at the ships, and then on the third one we're gonna have a look at the platform and the crane themselves. I got this set about 18 months ago. I bought it from Germany. It came complete with instructions but no box. I remember paying about £60–65 for it, postage included. So I have the instructions here and there's not much to say. Only the steps to build the official set are present in this booklet. And there's no pictures of alternate builds, just a picture of the official set on the front and another one on the back. Moving to the minifigs, the set comes with 7 minifigs, and there's not much to say about them, as being early 90s sets were sold only with classic minifigs with yellow smiley faces, so not much more to say about this. Set comes with forklift, a very nice forklift, very interesting design. This is a bit damaged, the spring is a bit damaged but still works. It looks good. It's one of those designs that used to go a lot in the early 90s in terms of forklifts. Very nice, I like it. Also allows a lot of extra playability to the set, so very good they decided to put it in the set. Another one is a truck with a trailer into it. Very nice but easy and small build, especially if compared to nowadays trucks designs and sizes. There is a very small and basic truck here, we put together with really not many pieces, but this is how it used to be in the 90s, you know. Lego evolved and keeps evolving over the years. Back in the 90s, this is how things used to be. And here is the trailer that comes with it. Very basic flat trailer that has this nice feature that if you pull this section down, this will allow the trailer to remain flat and even if it is disattached from the truck. The set also comes with 5 containers, which is a pretty huge amount to me, if you ask me. 2 of them are the same and are just plain flat white containers with these little doors on the front that once you open allow you to put some bricks into it, pretending that's freight stuff. Very nice, I like, they look good. And then there's these 3 here that are built a bit differently, and one just has some bricks into it that it's supposed to represent boxes of goods, so not much to to see here. This second one here is presenting a motor into it, a big engine. Very nice. There's not much to play with this, but I like the idea. It's something that I find very unusual but very interesting. I really like that they decided to go for this build. It can be source for interesting creative ideas. And then there is this last container that has the interesting feature of having a tractor inside it. So one way to see this whole thing is that this is not just a container that has to be moved around whilst playing with the whole set, but you can actually open the whole thing up, take the tractor out, and then play with the tractor itself. So just and therefore adding even more playability to the set itself. The set comes with not one but actually two ships. One is a cargo ship and another one is a smaller one. We're gonna have a look quickly at this smaller one first. I don't know what the name for it is. This is one of those small boats that are attached to the cargo ships once they approach the seaport, and they drag slowly and carefully drag the big cargo ships to the bay and park them to the bay. So I don't know what the name for it is, but this is the, for what I could understand, I think this is the function of this boat. It's a very nice boat. It's very simple, but I like the the nice slick design. Looks good, looks very dynamic. I like the use of these slopes to add to give extra detail. I like the little details that are involved in this build. And if you open this section here, you can reveal some empty space inside, a compartment inside that there's nothing into it, but if you want, you can get creative and try to add something into it. Let's put this on the side for a minute. Let's focus on if not the most exciting builds of the whole set, at least my opinion, which is this huge cargo ship. The ship is fantastic. Having it in front of me, I can really appreciate the intelligence that has been put into into building this set. It's pretty huge, as you can see, and has some very interesting features throughout all of it. It starts, let me give you a close-up as well of it. It has this hook on the front that I think is supposed to be used to attach this boat to it and then drag the whole thing to the bay. It has a series of compartments here that once you lift these panels show a whole hollow space that you can play with. I don't know, for example, filling up this whole section with bricks if you want to give to allow the cargo ship to be able to transport even more goods. And then there is this whole cabin section that I think is very well made, as I think represents very well the look of a real big cargo ship. I really like it. I think it's a very well made, very well thought build. If let me give you just a a bit of a look, a closer look to some more details here on top. There is this very nice flag with a sticker into it, and there's also this back section that is very nice, very well thought and very well built, that allows the build to present itself a lot better, or very well anyway. So if in order to assess the inner part of the build, what you have to do is to lift this panel, and what this is going to reveal is the cabin section, but there is a lot of hollow space to put one or more minifigs into it, and then there are a couple of printed slopes and a steering wheel that are supposed to represent the whole control panel. So very nice indeed. I will like it a lot. I'm gonna put a few containers into it, and I have to say that the presentation of the whole build with the containers on top of it is really good. It really looks great. I really do like this ship. It's really a build that always got me very impressed, and it keeps impressing me every time I put it in front of my eyes. Okay, last but not least, let's have a look at the whole platform with the crane on top of it. This whole build, as you can see, is huge. It's really large, and it's made of 5 plus 1 ramp over there. 5 of these base plates, raised base plates, that were introduced in the early 90s with this set, I think, with this Nautica set. This one and the 6541, and it is similar to this one but just smaller, and it allows for a lot of space to move things, people and vehicles around. And what is interesting, that is a very nice feature, is that there is this little control cabin that allows the check of people entering the port. I think it's very nice, and very nice touch that helps to make the set more complete. There's not much more in terms of the platform itself. There's just a few details here and there, but not much to say. What I would like to focus now very briefly is on the crane itself. Okay guys, so here we are with the crane itself. Pretty big build. I kinda like it. I like the fact that they managed to put together this concept on the way it works, which is actually the very basic way some real cranes work. What I don't like is the use of these supports over here. These are very specialized pieces, and what I don't like is that they are very big, specialized, and not very Lego-ish. What I would have preferred is that this whole structure was going to be built with regular bricks and maybe some Technic beams, for example. I think it would have made the whole thing more Lego-ish, and I personally would have preferred it, but not a big deal, obviously. The whole structure, as you can see, moves back and forward through these guides here, and these guides are made of 12-volt train tracks that they've just been used for a different purpose in this set. It works very well anyway. It works very well, and it's very smooth, so good way of putting the whole thing together. In terms of how this whole mechanism works, it's pretty basic, pretty simple. Through the use of these wheel that you see over here and another one that is on the other side that I'm going to show you in a minute, this whole structure will be moved around. So through this wheel we will be moving this whole section back and forward, as you can see, and it's pretty easy and straightforward, and also because it's very easy to assess this wheel here. And then when you have these into the right position, what you do is to act on the wheel that you see here, and you will lower down and lift up the whole thing in order to make sure that this whole thing goes up and down full range. You have to make sure that the string is long enough, obviously. And then, as the last thing, once you have everything in the right position, you just grab the container and manually you just put it in place and move things around. It's a very nice concept. I like it a lot. It's a bit defective because unfortunately the problem is that if the string here goes out of place, goes out of the guides that are made by these wheels that you see over here, the whole thing will stop working properly. That's a bit unfortunate, but this is build for kids and it's not a Technic build, so it's not a big deal for me. If this was a proper Technic build, I would have expected a certain level of efficiency. In builds like this that are for very young kids, it's not a big deal at all, at least in my opinion. So yeah, pretty much this is the whole concept behind the crane. The last thing is just I want to show you is that in order to assess the cabin and put the minifig in, you simply lift the whole thing. Okay. So guys, this is it for this review. I tried not to make it too long, so I apologize in case I missed some features or some details of the set. I have to say that this is definitely one of the best Lego sets I have had my hands on. Its presentation, the features, the amount of things you can do with it, and the level of playability of it is really a top one, and it really deserves to be one of the most iconic sets of at least the whole 90s. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be selling this soon because my collection is becoming too big, and I really have to reduce the volume of it, so I'm going to have to sacrifice this set, as with all the spare pieces I have, I can put together a concept similar to this in case I'm gonna need it in future layouts. So I'm going to have to sacrifice not just this one but also the other Lego set that is very closely related to this one, the Intercoastal Seaport set number 6541. I'm going to have to let these go. However, what I really would like to point out is that if you're looking at having this as an addition to your collection, you should definitely go for it, because it's it's a really great set indeed. So guys, pretty much that's it. Don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe so you can stay updated for more, and thank you very much for watching. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye bye.